Hi, hope you're well. Just a quick thought on this week's Sedra, the Sedra of Kedoshim. I'm going to start with a little bit of a left field observation, and then we'll work it through to the Sedra. I was watching an adaptation of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice the other day on TV, and it was looking at the story through the eyes of the other sisters, for those familiar with the story. And there was something that sort of jumped into my head whilst I was watching it. In those times, set, 200 years ago, let's say, they didn't really use the word you to address somebody else, the second person. The only way you could talk about somebody as being you would be to write it in a letter, which they rarely did because they would often talk about one, or to be in the physical presence of that other person. And if you can imagine a little shtetl, a little village, there would be maybe a couple of dozen, 2 or 3 dozen people that you would ever in your entire lifetime get to address as you. In nowadays, with enhanced communication, with social media and WhatsApp and phones and email and all of that gubbins, we can talk about you because we're talking about people that aren't in our presence, but they're actually people we're communicating with. But in those times, the only way you could talk about somebody really was if they were actually there. Okay, let me go back to the Sedra. So the Sedra starts with Daber Hashem el Moshe Lemor, Daber el Kol Hadas Bnei Yisrael. Hashem speaks to Moshe, saying, "Speak to the assembly of the children of Israel. V'amar lehem Kedoshim tiyu. You should be holy. Ki Kodesh ani Hashem Elokechem, because your God is holy." What we're saying is, and it's a fundamental tenet of Judaism, of monotheism, I guess, and Judaism's take on that, is that each and every one of us has a specific, unique relationship with God. And because God is infinite, and because we are all very different, we each have that relationship and that connection, which is incredibly intimate, but at the same time, very, very different from each other. In fact, we talk about it almost, I guess, without perhaps noticing in our prayers and our blessings every single day. We talk about God, Baruch Atah Hashem. God is there right with us when we make those blessings, when we say those prayers. It's difficult to imagine, I know, but you can see it from somebody's perspective from 200 years ago, perhaps, to say that the only way you can imagine somebody being there, of calling someone Atah, you there, would be for them to be right there in your presence. And the Rambam and many others, Maimonides and many other halakhic commentaries, say that when you're praying, when you're saying a bracha or a blessing, you should have in your mind that when you're talking about Atah Hashem, God is right there, right in front of you, with you right there in that moment, and that you're standing in front of him. What's cute is that the Sedra, what's the first thing the Sedra then goes on, the Torah then goes on to talk about? Ishmael the Torah. It talks about your relationship with your parents, because those are people that fit right into that category. To give you a sense of what I don't want to say intimate relationship, but what a close relationship looks like. Because at the end of the day, your parents are two people that you would, hopefully if they were to survive your birth, would be people that would be people that you would be able to say Atah to. That message is incredibly powerful, because each and every one of us has our struggles, has our moments, has our doubts. But yet, when it comes down to it, God is infinite and God is one. Because it is possible to have a unique relationship with millions and millions of souls, but at the same time, to be a unified echad, to be a unified being, as God is. And that is what makes God holy. To have those close relationships with the people that mean the most. The Adas Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom.